With a laptop and a smile, we bridge the language gap. No matter where you're from, we've got your English map. From Kingston to Tokyo, Kingston to Beijing, we'll guide you through the words. We'll make your heart sing. One love, one language. We're dancing to the beat, teaching English online. We can't be discreet. From verbs to nouns, from idioms to rhyme. Learning English is a journey, it's a global good time. I'm an online teacher getting students worldwide. With my reggae rhythm, gonna take them for a ride. From the Caribbean beaches to the African plains. Teaching English online, breaking language chains. Teaching English online, come on and join the class. We're gonna have a blast. Make the good times last. With the reggae rhythm pumping and the vibe feeling right. Teaching English online. Spread the law online. Let's spread the law time. Breaking language rampant and the vibe feeling right. Teaching English online. Let's spread the love tonight. Spread the love tonight. Let's spread the love tonight. The heart sing. One love, one language. We're dancing to the beat, teaching English online. We can't be discreet. From verbs to nouns, from idioms to rhyme. Learning English is a journey, it's a global good time. I'm an online teacher getting students worldwide. With my reggae rhythm, gonna take them for a ride. From the Caribbean beaches to the African plains. Teaching English online, breaking language chains. Teaching English online, breaking language chains. Yes. Teaching English online. Respect the lump sum on, join the class. We're gonna have a blast. Make the good times last. With the reggae rhythm pumping and the vibe feeling right. Teaching English online. Let's spread the love tonight.
Welcome, everyone. It's Sunday night, 9 p.m. here in China. It's the ESL live stream, and today we're going to be talking about online teaching. We're going to welcome Stu as well. He's, of course, my co-host, so we're going to wait for him a moment. And today we have the pleasure to receive Sharina Smith. Sharina Smith is an expert in online teaching and income for teachers. She's a member of the British English Council and helps educators find new ways to teach online and earn money. So she's well known for her practical tips, and Sharina supports teachers in growing their skills and reaching more students. So it sounds like you on the right platform. That's the ESL live stream started today. Thank you if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Feel free to leave some likes and subscribe. And let's start tonight's live stream. Here we go. Welcome, Stu. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, I finally got here. Do you know what? I think I was using the link for last week's live, and it
That's
just
what I was
wasn't.
thinking.
Yeah, I realised it was from last week's live, and it just wasn't connecting. But so people, if you're thinking about doing this, it's harder than it seems. You need to get your tech right. But Mike's the boss.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not always easy to manage everything. And thank you to all of you for following us. I'd like to say hello to the early birds. Fatima Essa, welcome, as well as Pavel Pol. Hi, everybody. My guest out and an honor every time I join you. Your stream boosts my wake up to a better teaching. Yeah. Sounds good. Get ready. We have a special guest today, Stu. Do you know?
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
been
So
recommending her exactly. Sharina
yeah,
Smith.
so Sharina's great. She's really busy on Facebook, and she has a really good community that she has. It's called TEFL on the Go, and it's fantastic. If you're like an online teacher in particular, not only online teaching, she also has in class teachers, but it's a community very supportive. People help each other, guidance, always good questions going into there. So if you're a teacher on Facebook, check out TEFL on the Go, and you'll be able to find Sharina, and yeah, she'll just help you in your career.
And with this said, we're not going to wait anymore. Let's welcome our guest, Sharina Smith.
And now let's welcome Sharina Smith to the ESL live stream.
Hey,
Hi, Sharina.
Hey there.
Thank
Hi,
you for
Mike.
being
How's
here.
nice to
It's a
hey,
great
Sharina,
pleasure to
really,
have you.
yeah, really,
Thank you.
really nice to see you for the, finally face to face.
finally, yes, finally face to face. Thanks for having me here. Great to be here today.
Uh, and you are actually in South Africa. What time is it there?
In South Africa, it is 3:05 p.m. So we are in getting into our afternoon.
So you see, the technique is really awesome. Even if it's difficult sometimes to figure it out, all the links. But from China to Europe to South Africa, that's awesome. That's the ESL live stream. Thank you so much for being here. That's a great honor to have you with us. And can you just very quickly, I already introduced yourself, but if you want to introduce yourself one more time, Sharina, you're very welcome. Hope I didn't make mistakes in the introduction.
No, you were on point. All right, no problems there. Well, some of you, I see some of my team has joined. Thank you guys for being here. Um, I'm
Great,
Sharina
awesome.
Smith. I'm from South Africa. For those who don't know me, I run a community group called TEFL on the Go on Facebook, and it's a global community group across all ends of the earth, and it grows every day. And we it's quite fluid, so I adjust it according to the needs of the members. I try and keep everyone happy, answer questions, just basically get them staying on top of the game with TEFL. That's basically what I do.
Helping teachers. Thank you so much again for being here today. So we're going to start with first question. Feel free, everyone, in the chat. If you got questions to ask about online teaching, maybe there's one question that everybody would love to ask you. It's uh, maybe most of them are Mike's on ESL. A lot of us are from classroom teachers. So we are also interested in maybe switching to uh, an ESL teacher, but online, and maybe trying to create our own business. So how, from a classroom teacher, we would start doing it online?
All right, that's a question I get asked, I think, 5 times or 10 times every single day. If it's not on WhatsApp, it's on email or via the community, because there are so many teachers who are getting stressed out being in the classroom and it's just not working out for them. All right, especially in South Africa, we have a lot of that. So we're finding that transition is happening more and more often than it did in the past. All right, because of burnout and different political reasons. So your question, Mike, is how do you do that? Well, those of us who have
Yeah.
done the transition from classroom to online, me being one of them myself, know it's like walking on land and then suddenly you left to walk on water. That's what it is. Okay, so it's very different. It's very different, and there is a lot of things that need to be put in place. So the first advice I give to people is go and do some research before you do make that transition, because it's not for everybody. People think it's also glamorous. You hop online, you press a button, you're in a different country with a different student, and it's all glamour and excitement. It's not. It's hard work as well. Okay, it's a lot of hard work for us that know that.
True.
So there are many different things one has to do. The first thing I would say is go and do your research. See if that fit is for you to move to online first. It's not a fit for everyone. Secondly, well, you can book a one-on-one free consult with me, and I navigate that journey, take you through the horrors of it and the beauty of it. Okay, I do both with you, so you can make an informed decision there. The next thing I would suggest you do is get training and get a mentor who's been there, done that, not someone who's teaching you out of chat GPT, and by someone who's been there and done that. So you get that first hand one-on-one motivation and training. So those are some of the things I suggest. Also, remember, being in a classroom is so different, because now you need to have all the online tech and tools, and that is the scariest part for most teachers who are doing the transition. Now, this year alone, I've trained quite a few teachers from the brick and mortar school system. Who one was 22 years, the other one was 33 years in traditional classrooms, and they decided to go online. And told me they tell me it's the scariest thing that's ever happening to them, because Mark Thompson, my group knows him. He's an retired teacher, head of department. He's 33 years there. He came to me for training this year, and he told me, Sharina, I am so scared. I am so nervous. You have no clue.
Uh-huh.
But I'm telling you because I need your help. So I told him, look, first things first. Let me tell you what it's all about, which I did. I don't know if I scared him even more, but I was just being honest. The next thing I told him was, let's get you down to some training. And he's like, what training? And I said, you have to be trained. Online is different. Besides knowing how to
True.
use the tech and tools, you are now in a virtual environment. It's totally different, being in a virtual environment. So you need to have those skills of tech and tool, which most traditional teachers don't have, because online is so different. Okay, so that's the one thing. The second thing is, in using tech and tools, you need to know how to use Zoom, Teams, Google Classroom. What's the other ones we use? Your virtual whiteboards, your screen share, your breakout rooms. If you can't use these technologies, you can't teach online. It's basically impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, Sharina, you make such a good point, because you've got a lot of different platforms, and each platform has got different like layout and functions, like where the button for breakout
Yes,
room on
yes.
one platform is different from another, and you can't work it out during the lesson. You need to be professional, work out the platform in your own time. If your students aren't online, just do it with a friend. Just really suss out the platform, right? And
Yes,
also,
definitely. Mm.
Yeah, a good tip as well is get practice with the parents, because if you're teaching children and they can't work out, what they need to click as well, so you can get the parents on board as well. That's another really good tip.
Yeah, that's great to get the parent on board. It makes the class it flows easier. All right. But then also for as a teacher, before you even start your first class, I always say, make sure you know your tools that you're going to use, bring them up, test them, see that they're working before your class starts, So that's also very important. Um, I think that's the first thing. One must know which platform they're going to use, which makes it a little bit difficult because different countries use different platforms. Like, we all
True.
know that China doesn't have Zoom. You can use the VPN code to get in, but most people don't have it. So they use a different platform. I think it's ClassIn. Am I correct, Mike?
Yeah, classing.
And
Yeah,
WeChat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
WeChat. Is
Exactly.
it WeChat? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have
We
to know
chat. Exactly. Yeah.
WeChat, yeah. You got to know different platforms. And, these are very important things as an online teacher to know those different platforms and how to use the different tools when teaching. So that's one of the skills you need to know. Another skill that's a must, that's very important, is you got to know how to engage your classroom or your
Mm,
class. Usually it's one on one. So for 60 minutes, all the student is seeing and hearing is you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that can become quite a daunting task as a, especially when you're a new teacher. How do you engage your classroom? What do I
Mm,
use? What materials do I bring up? You don't have a
mm,
textbook anymore. You're not reading or doing lesson plans that's already lesson planned for you. You have to bring in your lesson plan. And that's a skill. I know ChatGPT can do it for you, but it's very impersonal. It shows out. Okay, if you just use
True.
it
True.
as it is, it does show out. I am very much into teaching the people that I train how to do their own lesson planning and creation. It's one of my
mm.
modules, lesson planning and creation, because if you have a boring lesson plan, you're not going to get that student back. He's not going to refer you either.
Mm.
So
When you touch on engagement there, Sharina, it's like I've got a good friend, Ross Thorburn, and he runs the TEFL Institute. So he kind of does a lot of interviewing of like really like professors and stuff, a lot of authors. And he used to be an area manager for like VIP Kid or one of the really big ones in China. He was like a really big regional manager, and he was doing his
yeah,
masters in linguistics like I was, but for his masters he did a dissertation on online engagement strategies for students, for children. How can we engage children, when it's looking at a screen for 60 minutes? You're not in the classroom, you're not moving around, standing up, getting into pairs, you're stuck very static with the screen. So how can we engage students? He did a lot of speaking to teachers and working out, and he had some really good ideas actually about online engagement strategies, kind of like not making it so linear, creating breakout rooms, jumping forward and moving backwards in the class, making it less linear. So engagement is a big issue as well in online teaching.
yeah, definitely
Yes, because
engagement is a must.
exactly. Always remember uh, online, when you teach online, your environment is reduced. I mean, it's only this screen like we are today. You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
only this to express yourself and to do actions, or there are also a lot of TPR into it. You get to learn. I found it's even more than in the classroom. It's quite close to what we use sometimes, especially for young kids. When you say listen, there are some TPR that you can still use from being in a classroom. But when you are in this app or in this platform, it's very reduced, and you don't really feel your students. You don't have this atmosphere around you. You don't have that, connections with the kid. When there's something wrong in the classroom, you can see it right away. But
Yes.
in online, it's really difficult have that feeling. I'm someone who works a lot with feelings, feel the the kids reaction, and I change my teaching according to that. So I think it's lesson plan, especially with kids, young kids, should be really important. The preparation should be an 80-90% of a great result of the students, because it's quite difficult to feel that students, if we can say it like that.
Do you know,
Yes.
quickly, like, sorry, Trina, just while you're on that thing there, I've got a buddy called Jake, and he's also really very, very knowledgeable. And one of his tricks, actually, for engagement on online is to use your desk space. So if you're using your camera, you can literally just adjust it down like that, or just move down your camera, and then he gets Lego blocks or big Duplo blocks, and he can use these as
Okay.
word chunks. So he might write something on like a big like Lego block or a Duplo block, move it around, and he can like use blocks like this, kind of like pushing things together, and like making this part of the word or this part of the sentence move with this, using word chunks, explaining grammar using blocks. And he loves using blocks in online classes and desk space.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that sounds awesome. That's a great idea. Hey, thanks for that one. I'm sure a lot of people, I've never thought about it, moving your camera down,
Oh,
using your desk
yeah,
space.
really works
Great
well.
stuff. Great
Yeah.
idea. All right. That is the thing. When you're online, you got to be able to be adaptable and flexible in your class. You've got to be ready and know how to modify that lesson. Um, you know, on the spot, on the fly. You must know how to modify that lesson, especially if you a teacher and you can pick up your student is getting bored. You know that you need to change direction. You have to change direction, otherwise it's an ineffective classroom. So you got to know how to do these things and how to modify that lesson. It's important. Another very important skill we all know being online is technical problems. You got to know how to troubleshoot them. you know if Zoom is throwing you out or there's no sound, we often have that. You as a tutor can't go in a panic. You got to know how to handle that classroom dynamic, and that comes with
Mm.
skill as well. That's a skill you learn, your classroom dynamics. That's very important. Solutions and alternatives has to be there on hand. You have to have it. So these are some of the skills that together with effective communication, like Mike was saying, you just in this little block, just the two of you for a whole hour, and you just communicating. Yeah, it's that big. Hey, it's just that big. So your communication has to be clear, concise, supportive.
Mm.
You can't speak in monotones. I know a lot of people want to start teaching children. They say it's easier. Yes, it's easier. If you make a mistake, you can, smile, start a song, cover it up, right? You can do that. Unfortunately for me, I was teaching business English to adults. So it wasn't that easy to
They
cover that
know
one up.
something's going wrong. They can
They know
see it's
what you're talking. Yeah.
yeah.
So you can only do these things with skill and preparation. You can't jump onto a class platform and think you're going to wing it. If you're going to
Mm.
do that, I can assure you you're going to fail. You're going to fail down the line. It doesn't work. So
Yeah.
you have to know, like Mike was saying, your body language is so important. Your eye contact, your TPR, the way you use your hands. Those are all important things. Your vocal projection, I think that's one of the
Mm.
most important thing. What is your vocal projection? What are the cues like? So there are so many skills that one has to learn before being effective online. Like I said, it's not just learn how to use maybe Zoom, jump on the platform and start teaching. That just the
Mm.
tip of the iceberg of what it's about.
I think another skill that is really important as well is concept questions and making sure you clarify the task before you get going. So I was teaching online before, and I thought I had explained the task really well. I said, okay, off you go. And I could see that there was confusion. And I was like, that's my fault. I didn't clarify. I didn't check that they understood the task. So I would always advise teachers when you're giving tasks, check that they understand. Susan, like, how many questions do you need to write down? I need to write down 5 questions. I need to write down 6 answers. Okay, I know that you've understood, what you need to be doing. So check it before you begin the task as well.
Yes, definitely. Stu, you're talking about the CCQs, concept checking questions.
Yeah.
CCQs are a must. It's something that, when I do lesson planning and creation, you've got to, as a tutor, ask the question, your CCQ, what did I just say about travel? What did you understand? You've got to ask, because if you don't ask, you would assume that student knows and you move on. And the student is just sitting there quiet, totally lost. So your concept checking questions is a must, very important.
Mm.
I think more important than all of the things we have discussed so far is time management in your classroom. That is key to the success of your class, is your time management. If you don't do effective time management, you only have 45 minutes, sometimes 60 minutes. With children, it's 25 minutes, I think, usually China, 25 minutes in a
Mm.
class. You've got to cram your whole lesson plan in that time, which means each and every section of your lesson has to be timed and planned accordingly. So that's important. Also, the fact that you're working different time zones and you've got to manage the times and the conversions.
That's tough as well, right?
It's much.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's really,
conversions. Okay.
yeah. Sharina, if you are a teacher and you want to kind of, the problem with these platforms is the pay isn't often very high. The platform sucks all of the, by the time the students have paid, by the time it hits your bank, it's gone through several different hands, and you're not really getting that much money from platforms and whatnot. How would you use like online and social media to kind of, build yourself up a profile to potentially get more students?
Well, for those who know me and those who've on my group, they know that I'm all out for people teaching independently, being their own platform, having their own online school going. Now, that's not a fit for everybody as well. Okay. You've got to be more an entrepreneur and all for that. So I get that. But then you get the people who want to work on a platform, and you're right, Stu, if it's not $5 and $6 or $9 and less 33%, I mean, it's just crazy what's going on right now. It's one of the reasons why I always advocate for those people who have experience and can go independent online to do so. All right. Or do it simultaneously. You can work on a platform, gain the experience, be more confident while building your own business. Okay. Because when you build your own business, that is something I did. I was with italki and Skyeng for like 2 years and then started building my own business online. When you start doing that, you realize your worth. You're worth more than this $10. You are worth more than this $5 they want to pay you. And I have that every day where teachers are coming to me because of those platforms they're working on. Getting back to your question again was, how would one actually do that? Using social media to leverage your brand and leverage your services is very important. So marketing is key in the business. The downside is a lot of teachers and those who come from an educational background are not marketers. Okay. Marketing is a different environment. It's a different kettle of people who do that. Okay. So my team are
Different
always telling me,
strategies.
you're
Yeah.
fortunate to have me, because marketing was my forte. I was a business development consultant for 24 years, and then I transitioned to the classroom. So I have experience in both of it. You have to leverage on social media, because that's where the magic is happening. Everybody's on their phone. Even when they're in the bathroom, they're on their phone, they're checking something out there. So you've got to be there, you've got to be in people's faces. And you I always recommend Facebook for various reasons. Beside it having billions of people on their platform, you can market there free. You're allowed to market free for a certain extent, so it's cost effective for you. Um, it's where the real world is. Things are happening there. People can share your ideas. You can start building up a brand. And this is where a lot of teachers fall short, because they don't realize you've got to build up a brand. You are a brand. You yourself are a brand. So
Yeah.
whether you're working on Preply or iTalki or Palfish, wherever you are, you've got to advertise. You have to. There are thousands and thousands of tutors that these platforms employ, and everybody's looking for the best tutor, the cheapest rate. So you have to be very competitive out there, and you have to leverage on social media for people to know who you are.
Mm.
So,
Exactly. Um, yeah. So I had a quick to go on with that. What types of supplementary materials, like, for example, digital resources, worksheet, or ebooks, can ESL teachers create and sell as well to generate what we call passive income?
passive income. All right. Now, this is something that I say you have to learn how to have different streams of income, whether it's passive or not, especially on the online in the online
Yeah.
industry. We all know as ESL teachers, or even teachers teaching, Cambridge or whatever you're teaching, that you have a dry season at certain times. When there's holidays, it's a dry season. When China is gone on holiday or Chinese New Year, it's a dry season. So you can't afford to have those dry seasons. So passive income is very important, and there's different ways of doing that, Mike. You can go and design and download resources which you can get for free. Whether it's vocabulary, grammar, reading and comprehension, you can put it together and sell that online. People are willing to
Yeah.
buy it because they don't have time to go and research this kind of thing. That's one of the things you can do. Or you sell it on Teachers Pay Teachers. Teachers Pay Teachers. Yeah, that's a
Mm.
platform. Teachers Pay
Oh,
Teachers.
true.
You
Yeah.
can
Teachers pay teachers.
you can Yeah, Teachers Pay Teachers. A lot of
Mm.
people sell their stuff there. Another passive income is to do guides for exam preparation. Okay. Now, guides for exam preparation
Oh, right.
sell. You can put your price to it. Okay. Because every parent wants their kid to have this exam prep pack.
Mm.
Okay, so you can call your price during the exam time. I did that 2 years ago, and I know for a fact it works. It really works. It may take you a little time to put your material together, but once it's done, you have that. So
Yeah.
that's
So it's a
another
kind
way
of
of
study guide, right? It's a study
yeah, like a
guide
kind of
inside.
like a kind of study guide, like a kind of study guide. Okay, but you
Ah,
kind of
okay. Yeah, yeah.
personalize it. You make it personal. You make simplify it. You break it down, and you give the option that you can maybe give. The person buys the study guide, and you can maybe give them 2, 3, or maybe 4 live sessions, lessons. You know, you do it then as a group,
Yeah.
so it's not taking a lot of time from you, but you will consistently make money out of it. That's a good thing. This year, next year, the following year, you're going to make money out of it.
Mm. Yeah, and
So
you can use Canva. So Canva, it's free. It does have a
Oh, yeah.
premium thing, but But the free one is great, and you can make some amazing resources using Canva. I wrote 2 books for teachers using Canva, 129 flashcard games and a big book of classroom warmers and games. And I wrote both of those books using Canva, and that makes a great passive income. That's selling just quietly in the background, and it was great fun to make. Well, kind of fun, a lot of work, but yeah, I enjoyed it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now Canva is quite pretty fast because it has that AI, which is going. It's really incredible. Me too. I'm on the pro version, and the
Mm.
the thumbnail for this live, I say I'm gonna change, and then I use Canva because I was in a hurry doing it, and it was
Okay.
super fast doing that thumbnail for tonight's live. I
Yeah.
had like because the whole Saturday I was busy, so I couldn't. I was like, "Damn, bro, use that AI. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. You gotta work it out." Because Canva was, I wasn't very interested in Canva, but because I like to do all the things myself, and
Mm.
then. Yeah, I use Pixlr, which is a kind of Adobe, very easy to use. And then now many of them they add a lot of platform at AI in it to facilitate your work going faster, especially with templates. Because templates now on YouTube you got to be catchy, like Paul is saying a very important thing: early bed, early to rise, right? Work like hell and advertise. So Ted Turner was saying that advertising is really must have. So it's so true. And then it's really advertising, like Sharina, you were saying, you have to have that skills. There are a lot of things to learn in advertising, in marketing, how a thumbnail is supposed to be, how it looked like. Of course, you can ask ChatGPT to help you now, but in there are a lot of things in the creation of a company that there are a lot of things uh, that are not in your teaching, not lesson plan and all stuff, but aside promoting. I think the work is also quite big, quite a lot of work for that.
Mike, it's not quite a lot of work. What I teach my trainees, you need to take 1 hour a day to do your marketing. 1 hour. Okay, you've got
Right.
24 hours in a day. You only need 6 to sleep. You take 1 hour. You got to market consistently every single day. But let your marketing be engaging. It's got to be engaging. People must want to read your stuff
That's
and
it.
listen to you. You don't
Mm.
go and put
Exactly.
boring stuff out there. So there is trend and there is a way to do it. People also want to see that you're a real person. They want to see who's behind all of it. So it's very important not to lose the humanistic side when you are marketing on social media. That's very important.
Mm.
So
And
marketing is a must.
different
I see
platform
somebody
as well.
wrote there, early to bed, early to rise. Okay. So the best time to market
Yeah,
is
that
while
was
everyone is still asleep.
especially there, with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all these platforms I found out has different way to advertise. So it's also it makes it also very very complicated in some ways. But like you said, and that's really true, they want to see that if you're a real person, right? More you speak to
Yeah.
your audience, and better you're gonna have engagement, and that's pretty much like in a classroom. You gotta engage your community.
I
Yes,
had
it is. Mm. Yes, go
sorry,
ahead. Go
can you
ahead,
carry on?
Stu.
So, yeah, okay.
I've got another buddy, Dave, and he's really good at marketing for ELT, and he said you can't just be like sell, 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 buy this stuff, buy this stuff. He said it's got to be useful. So it's got to be human, like Sharina says. And it's got to be useful. Like for
Yeah.
example, this live stream. Like people are learning from it. you know, people want to read it so they can develop themselves. So it can't just be like, buy this stuff from me, because it doesn't work anymore. It used to work, but now, you know, there's so many people making content out there that you need to move with the times, and you need to be creating content that people want to engage in and learn from.
Yes, definitely, Stu. Gone are the days where you could just, be marketing for sales. People don't want that anymore. You've got to add some value, and value adding is very important. I always say, if you start a community first, start a following. When people start to follow you and people start to know who you are, they start to trust you. And when people start to trust you, then they will buy what you sell because they trust you. So it's a bit of a process, but when you're there, it's easy there. Your marketing becomes easier as you move along.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
we get a
absolutely.
question from IBDSM. Thank you very much, IBDSM. Every ESL live stream, she's here, very active on Mike's Old ESL like Tefl Lemon. How can I motivate learners in teaching online? That's the question from
Ibtisam,
Okay,
IBDSM.
Ibtisam's my friend. Yeah, we've Ibtisam. She's currently a trainee on my TESOL program. She is now on Unit 15, so on the unit on online teaching
Congrats.
and online teaching strategies. So, yeah, a good way to motivate learners on online is basically choosing some really interesting tasks, making sure that they're quite challenging but achievable, and um, and you can be different as well. You can use kind of different types of tasks. So it can be, I mean, it can be very boring if it's just teacher talking all of the time. Students will switch off, they'll fall asleep. So you need to have like quite challenging tasks which are very learner focused. So let's say you're teaching 6-year-olds about colors, for example, or 5-year-olds about colors. Rather than just showing colors on the screen, what's this? It's red. What's that? It's yellow. Really boring. So, right, okay, this is yellow. Go and find 3 things from your house that are yellow. And then the student gets up, walks off, goes to the living room, goes to the kitchen, comes back with yellow things. So you are teaching in different kind of interactive ways by bringing your environment to life. So yes, you do have this screen, but you've also got your whole house. You've got lots of things going on. For tomorrow's class at 6 o'clock, bring something interesting you want to talk about. So the student might bring in the bird's nest, for example. So yeah, you can bring online classes to life by just putting a little bit of extra thought into it, and by getting the kids engaged like that, you know.
yeah. Yeah, engagement is very important. And as a teacher, you have to know how to bring different things into your classroom. And Stu is right, 6-year and 8-year-olds, they don't want to be sitting. They want to get up, they want to move, they want
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to do something. So you've got to bring that into your classroom. I've also did teaching for young kids at some stage, and I used to teach them with music. I mean, you can teach adults with music. You can do lesson plans with music, and they love it. So every class cannot be the same. Bring in videos. Kids love audio visual. Bring that in. Bring music, discussions.
Mm,
There's a lot one can do.
yeah, move around as well. So
Yeah, that,
and
Oh,
and if
that's true.
you've got like, sorry, Mike, just
All
quickly
good.
before we move on to a different topic or different question. Um, Sometimes when you share your
No,
screen,
that was
you might
about it.
have a PDF that you're using, like the textbook. So you might have like a sentence stem. So like, how much does this, like, it might have, like, you have to fill in the blank, for example, how much does this cost, like how many chairs are there, and you've got the gap fills, right? You've got these sentence stems. So research has shown that if the sentence stem is always on the screen, they just read it and they're not learning anything. So you can show the sentence stem. So you can show like the gap fill, for example, and then take it away from the screen. So the students are producing the language from the memory, and they're producing it without the sentence stem being on the screen. And research has shown that it's much better for language learning as well, and for motivation. So that's another thing that Ibtissam you can do. You can show something on the screen, then take it away, and then the students have to repeat it, and in their own language as well.
Yes, that's good for their
good
memory
transition.
as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what the question, the next question though, because we were start to talk about blended learning, right? I guess a lot of teachers would be asking, how can teaching methodologies such as flipped classroom and blended learning be adapted to suit online ESL teaching? That's a good transition about what we were talking about, I think.
Mike, I love the flipped classroom method. I've been teaching that to my trainees recently. The flipped classroom method, because it just, well, the word says flip. So it's basically, a session where you assign the work prior to the class. So the student goes and does some of the homework. They go and do some of the research. I've had students come back and do a lesson plan to me. Here's your topic, go and research it, and you present to me. I want to see what you have learned. So I found that the flipped classroom method works fantastically. I like to use it on a student who I know is lazy. You get the student who wants to come into your class and for the 1 hour just lay on their couch and listen to you. I've had adult students like that. So when I've discovered the flipped classroom method, I was like, I know next class we are doing travel by air, and you will be presenting to me. And then they sit up like, what do you mean I'm presenting? So you go and do some work. So the flipped classroom method is a great method. It helps the student come to the class prepared with new language, new grammar. It gives them something to do, and obviously they would look forward to the class. It'll be a little bit different. Instead of you teaching them, they are now going to be teaching you. So it changes the roles a bit. You can give them the resources, like your targeted video. You can give them the exercise. They can use, what do you use, a YouTube video, or use Quizlet. Go and look into it, but come back and you tell me what the topic's about. So I love the flipped class method. A blended method works fantastically as well. I don't know those who you have. I think people in my group, I know you have been going through the flipped classroom method. The blended method works fantastic as well. You can use both methodologies together in your classroom, make things much more interesting. Teaching methodologies yeah.
Sorry, Sharina, that idea you had for flipped learning. So you're teaching adults, and you've got like a module about travel, and you've got the students before the class to go ahead and plan like a presentation that they had to give about travel. Is that right?
Yes. So what you basically do is
what happened? Tell us.
Yeah. What you basically do is you tell the student, listen, the next class we're going to be speaking about travel, let's say air travel, okay? And I want you to go and look at the specific video. You give them a link. You're going to look at this, or you can give them something on YouTube, okay? But I want you to come back with 8 vocabulary words, some new grammar, and you present to me what you understand on air travel. So off the student goes, and when he comes back, you basically the student, and he's the teacher. Let him tell you what he's researched and brought to the classroom. So yeah, I love it. I love that method.
It's so good for engagement as well, right? Like you say, you've got that student kind of just lounging on his sofa, And you're like, right, okay, next class, Jonathan, I want you to you're going to be presenting about the students. Like, well, I'm listening now. Hold on, what was that? And they go away.
Yeah.
And it's straight away, they're really they're more focused, they're more engaged. And the next lesson, so they've gone away, they are learning, they're making their kind of 2-minute, 3-minute presentation or whatever. And the next class, when they come in, they're going to be so much more motivated and to give their presentation, to listen to the other presentations that are going on as well, so they can compare that presentation with their own, and they're going to be asking questions. Fantastic. Yeah, flip learning for the win. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, especially if you've got that student who wants to lie on the couch and just listen to you, that's the one you say, here's the flip class method for you. So it works. He's also more engaged, like Stu, you 100%, he's more engaged and he's more, active in the next class. He has to speak. So I also found it works very well if you have students who are shy to speak, they don't want to speak, in the online class. This forces them to speak. They have to speak.
Yeah, it takes them out of their comfort zone, right? Takes them out of their comfort zone a little bit and develops the skills that they need help with.
Yeah, 100%. You're out of your comfort zone there. Definitely.
And it doesn't just have to be with adults as well. You can do flip learning with children too. So like we were talking like last week, it might be reading a book to the parent, and then like the parent can give you feedback, or you can give them a book to read ahead of time, and then in the lesson you're going back over the book and you're discussing the characters, or maybe what happened next, what happens in chapter 2, and the students have to guess, and or do a little bit of role play in the class if you've got lots of children in the same class. So you can do flip learning for children too.
Yes, definitely. What I found children found very exciting was if you tell them, I want you to read a story to me, and I want you to voice record it and send it to me before the class, before the next class. Now they're all excited, they like gadgets. So they were going to voice record themselves reading and they send it to you. So they find that very exciting because you play little snippets in the classroom, and they're very excited about that.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, perfect way to use tech,
Yes, definitely.
Everyone's got phones.
True.
Yeah. As long as you're a bit older child, you've got phones. You can always use mum's phone if you're younger. Make that voice message and then send it to the teacher to listen ahead of the class. Really works well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or you can ask them to video record. Children love that. Ask them to video record themselves doing poetry or action or something and send it to you. They're very excited to do something like that.
Yeah, that's the screen generation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No,
So,
because
like
that
you can see,
pandemic. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, we got a bit of a lag. I can hear you now, Mike.
Yeah, because we are far from each other. One in China, one in Europe, one in South Africa. So it's
Yeah,
normal.
we're
It's
very
fine.
far.
No. I was just saying that kids now they feel very comfortable with using tech more comfortable than the teachers. Sometimes I find.
Yeah. Yeah,
We got a message there from Alicia saying that she sometimes uses arts and craft as well. Absolutely. Kids, adults like doing craft work as well. And I was doing a warmer the other day, and I said, right, okay, draw this picture. So I had to explain a picture, and it was a house with a garden. In the garden there was a tree. In the tree there was a cat stuck in the tree. Some kids were at the bottom trying to lure down the cat, and the students had to listen and draw what I was saying. It was a great warmer. It's a really nice way to introduce to get going into the class. But yeah, with children you can do loads of craft stuff as well in online classes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about being, just doing things that are engaging. Find new things to do. You as a teacher, you yourself have to be interesting and upbeat. When you're teaching children, you have to be upbeat. You cannot be boring.
Mm,
They want to do different things. If they come into your class, they expect something exciting to happen. They want magic in that class, and you as a teacher got to be able to create that magic. That's also a skill. I say that's
mm.
also a skill. One has to learn how to do all of these different things. So, going back to your first question, Stu, was, how do you transition and what are the skills? These are all skills that one has to learn to
Yeah,
be online.
yeah, definitely learned skills. We were talking about this like a month ago or a couple of months ago. It's like we were all classroom teachers. All of a sudden, COVID hits. Schools are closed. You have to teach online. Your first online class is in like 2 hours. No guidance at all. What to do? How to do it? How to use breakout rooms? We were like, and there was no one. It was the blind leading the blind, and we just had to go ahead and learn these strategies. But like you say, Sharina, find someone like yourself, Teflon to go, or find like a mentor, someone who's a bit more experienced to give you like that personal guidance as well.
Yes, definitely. That would be your first step. And with TEFL on the go, we give you all of this. We've got training, we've got post TEFL training. We teach you lesson planning and creation. We have a day set aside for TEFL wellness, burnout, mental, how to take care of yourself mentally. So it's a holistic group. We've got TEFL motivation, job support, job creation. That you're never alone on this journey. You always have a backup. You've always got someone to go to help you, because we have little groups formed within the group with the trainers. So it's excellent.
Mm.
And that's very important.
Yeah, it's very important because it's very lonely out there online. You've got no
Yeah,
staff
absolutely.
room, no staff room teachers, no coffee breaks, no small talk going on. It's just you and that
That's
screen.
a good point. That's a really good point. Like when
No,
you teach at school, you go out for a coffee break or whatever.
yeah,
You gather
you
around
can
the
talk.
photocopier. You're bouncing ideas off of each other, and by being online, especially if you are, if you're on Preply, you're very independent. You probably don't get any support other than your classes at 7 p.m. I don't know what other help you get. Certainly not like kind of
Yes.
moral support or whatever. So being in groups like that are really helpful. People that follow this ESL live stream channel. This is a community too. Where we help each other.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
what
important
it's
to have
all
backup
about.
and people around you. It's a must. Otherwise, you get lonely, you get demotivated, because we all have our down days. It's a given. You have your down days, even online. So you're going to
Yeah.
need someone to tell you, it's okay. The next class is going to be better. Just move on.
That's true. Thank you so much. If you guys have um, questions to ask, it's almost an hour we've been asking questions, talking about this very interesting topic, how to start maybe your online business with teaching English or teaching languages online, not only English. You can teach French. Et oui, bienvenue à tous. I'm still a little bit French, still, even if it's half and half in China and France. Yeah, teaching online, that reminds me, like you guys were saying, when I was feeling so lonely, when I start I've been teaching English in the classroom for a good 20 years, and suddenly I changed my job, being an ESL teacher, going to international school, and then starting to teach French. that have never taught French pretty much. Well, sometimes a face to face, 101. But suddenly I was in a classroom because of the pandemic. So I was not in a classroom, I was online suddenly. And I felt really, really lonely because you get no idea what to do. And then, what I was doing is just going. Well, I know I have a little bit of experience. Of course, I admit people, and then I was going on YouTube to get tips
Mhm.
and tricks from people like there are very famous YouTubers, if we can say, in the online teaching, especially these teachers are working with VIP Kid, so they had a lot of TPR, a lot of uh, good good stuff to learn. It was even a lot of fun to look at them teaching, watch them teaching with a kid, like, so that was really like what I do on ESL, on Mike's on ESL. I love to show the teachers how you should teach in a classroom, but not how you should teach, but how it works for me. And then if it works for you with your kids, that's awesome. So these teachers are VIP Kid, or they were teaching online. We could see the reaction. We could see the real time teaching in the classroom, and then I've learned a lot. Uh, and that was great to learn from YouTubers, or teacher YouTubers, and that's what we don't have online. There's no observation in the classroom, right? There's no one who's gonna come to see your class,
Yeah,
so you
that's
feel quite
a really
lonely on that.
you've made a really good point there. When you are in the school, you've got opportunities for observation, to be observed by the director of study, by the academic manager, but also to observe your colleagues. And through observation and feedback, you improve. You
Yeah,
you become so much better. And you haven't got that with online. So what I would suggest all online teachers to do is to reach out to other online teachers. Say, look, would you mind if I sat in? Can you clear it at the school for me to be able to do that? Let me sit in. Let me see how you do it. I had an online teacher call me the other day, and they were like, I've got some naughty students in my class. They're playing around in the classroom. I'm online just with the screen. How do I stop them from misbehaving? What do I do? Because when you're in the class, you can move around. You can speak to the student afterwards. You've got all of these in-class strategies that all teachers need to stop misbehavior. How do you do that online? So it's really difficult. So build the network and share knowledge and best practice. This is a really big piece of advice.
Yeah.
and
Coming to that,
Sharina, your
sorry,
best advice?
Careful on the Go has that. All right. So if you are part
Yeah,
of the team and part of the training team of Careful on the Go, you do mock classroom, and your team sits there and critiques your class when you're done. What you've done wrong, what you should do, how you should do it. So we kind of put that into place. So they learn from each other, how to be a better teacher online.
That's great.
nice,
So
nice,
that works.
great.
Another thing I would suggest, if you're teaching children, then ask your nephews, nieces, whoever, that you're going to teach them for
Uh,
free online, and practice. Teach them online. Practice. It's the only thing you can do. And practice, and more practice makes you even better.
That's
that's
a good
true.
idea too. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Family is a great help. Stu, I remember you were with your nephew 3 hours ago.
Yeah, so that's why I'm in. You can see my different background today. I'm in London today, so we're babysitting a nephew for my brother-in-law. They're up in Scotland. Um, So yeah, watching South Africa against Scotland today. So yeah, Sharina,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, same.
the box will be playing soon. So yeah, we're looking after the nephew today, but next week be back at home.
Great.
Okay, great stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharina. We're gonna stop because it's been 1 hour. Thank you so much for your time being with us on a Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes.
much for your time. That was great, and hope you can come again in the future. And if you want to say anything to everyone as an ESL teacher, the best advice that you might have, or whatever you want to tell everyone
I'm gonna
here
say,
on
okay.
the platform.
Well, I want to just tell all of you that look, it's a sweet job when things are going well, and it's not so sweet when things are not going well. But just get up. Every day is a new day. Just get up and be your best self. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what all I
Positive all
say
the way.
all the way.
Life is not easy, right? Like I always say, money doesn't grow on a tree. All
Exactly.
right. Thank you so much, Arena, again. It was a great pleasure to have you. Hope to see you soon. And everyone, feel free to follow Sharina on this is your Facebook page. I'm giving the link right now. I think everybody can find
Thank you.
you there and find, I don't have the for to go TEFL. So there they can find all the help as well, right?
Yes, they can just find me on my Facebook page, and on that page has links to TEFL on the go. Or just DM me. I'll send you the link.
That's great. So here you get the QR code. The link is also in the chat room. In the yes, in the chat room. Thank you everyone
All right.
for
Thank you.
coming here today. Everyone was really active asking questions. Thank you, Sharina. Very informative from Fatima Essa. Thank you as well from Alisa Welcott coming in, and we had as well Zara M from Fiji. It's been a long time, I remember. And thanks to Paul and everyone here in the chat. Thank you, Sharina. See you in
Thank you.
another
Bye,
live stream.
everybody. See
Wish
you.
you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye bye. That was very interesting today, talking
Yeah.
about online teaching and how to start your business. And of course, it's never easy.
Yeah, it's always like you see people have done it on YouTube, well, not on YouTube, on Facebook. You see people have done it on Facebook
Yeah,
or on Instagram. You're like, I want to do that too. I don't know how. How have they done that? How have they found the students? How do they collect the money? Like it's take it slowly. And like Sharina says, you don't have to go all in. So let's say you're on Preply now or Powfish or wherever, keep that. But on
yeah,
the side, in the few hours spare that you have, start finding your own students on top of your concrete one that you already have. And then
yeah.
once it starts building speed, then you can lose Preply and just go by yourself,
True. Even if you have one student or two, just do it do it well because one student is gonna bring other students.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
for so even if you have one or two, you're not happy with that making money. Well, if you're not doing a good job in the classroom, you're not gonna have any. You're not gonna have more students. So do your job as best as possible, and you will see
yeah,
no
yeah.
pain, no gain.
And a little tip as well is like,
Yeah,
me and Mike, we're both China experts. We lived in China for years. Chinese culture. If I'm teaching a Chinese student and I do a really good job and I give really good service to that student and the parent will tell their friends, guaranteed will tell their friends. This is the way Chinese
Oh,
society
dear.
works, and they'll tell their friends, and before you know it, you've got 2 students, then you've got 3, then you've got 5. So just build it through word of mouth by giving really, really good lessons. Get a good textbook if you can. That will help you. And that will help you structure your lessons by time, by topic, by development of language. To find yourself a good textbook. Market yourself online. And like Mike, like you say, teach as well as you can. And then after 6 months, you're going to have tons of students.
Exactly. And it's especially as well in China with WeChat, it's really fast.
Yeah.
Parents will communicate right away in moments. So thousands of people can see it right away. And that's why a lot of school, what they do, and it's also another tip that you can do when you're teaching online, when you have your online class, maybe you can just, film yourself teaching to a student. Of course, the students might be blurred or we cannot really see them, but just give some insight, post it on moments on your moments, and you're going to touch a lot of people. I'm sure even if you have friends, but in China, especially like Stu was saying, friends of friends of friends. They love that moments on WeChat. And when
Yeah.
even if your friends they don't have kids, maybe they have other friends that have kids, and they will
Yeah.
say, hey, I got my friend. You even have some people who are happy to help you because they're your friend, obviously, to help their friend. So he's the middle guy, he's the agent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's just,
it's
just market yourself as well as you can. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Stu, for being here today, uh
Always.
and hope.
Although next
Yeah.
on Tuesday, I'm in hospital, man. I need to have an operation on my nose, not to make it more beautiful. I've broken it a lot. Like I used to do wrestling and I've broken it. So next Sunday I'll be here, but I might have black eyes. I look like a thief or a burglar or something.
No,
A
you're gonna
bad
look
burglar
like
got caught.
a
Yeah,
panda.
yeah, a panda. Yeah. Uh,
Ah, man, that's a good one. So, as well, you got to know that for those who are maybe the first time on the platform, Stu does have a TEFL course, and it's higher certificate, right? Level
yeah,
4.
yeah. So I've got my own channel. I advise teachers. So yeah, check out Tefl Lemon on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. But our biggest thing is the Tefl Lemon course. So we've got over 2,300 trainees now. Um, uh, Ibtisam, who's just said, "Oh, sorry for hearing that, Stu. She's one of our trainees, so she can tell you how good I think the course is. Fully accredited, and it takes you on a journey through 20 different modules, planning, using supplement materials, using tech, how to teach online, how to teach big public school classes, 80 students at once. By the end of the course, you'll be a very, very accomplished teacher. So check out the TEFL Lemon 180-hour high certificate of TESOL.
And you get the link into the chat room, and of course, don't forget to follow uh, you on your YouTube channel. You have a lot of interesting interviews on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I've interviewed Hugh Della about how to teach vocabulary. I've interviewed university professors about pronunciation. I did one about inclusive teaching with with Tyson Seaburn from the University of Toronto, how to make your materials more inclusive. If you're interested in
Nice.
inclusivity,
Yes.
so yeah, I've got another one coming soon about how to teach writing. So another interview coming soon. So check out the channel on YouTube as well.
Great. Thank you so much. And it's gonna be hey, I love that avatar.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, a French guy drew that. Yeah. Like you French guys, you've got some talent.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right.
Isn't it?
Great. Oh.
Oh, it's great.
Man. All right. Great. Thank you. And thank you everyone for being here. Don't forget to follow Mike ESL, subscribe, and give some likes to help the channel. Of course, it's the ESL live stream. We're together with Stu, so follow Stuart Allen as well on his YouTube channel. The link is in the description down below. And I will see you next week. I will be there. Maybe we don't know if Stu's gonna be here. He's gonna be there next week. Maybe, like he said, looking like a panda from Xi'an. And then we'll be here. If not Stu, I'll be here for sure. But wish you all the best then, and hope that you get better soon,
Better
like we
soon.
say.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. So let's see. Hopefully, should see you next Sunday.
All right. Thank you, everyone. That was the ESL live stream, your live stream where teachers help each other. And feel free, even if you're watching the replay, question, because we always check out the questions. And if you need help, even if it's not the topic, same topic, just feel free. We all know that loneliness when you need that help, right? So feel free to leave your question. We'll be happy to help. Thank you, Stu. Thank you, everyone. And see you next week. The ESL live stream. Bye, Stu.
Bye.